construction date is uncertain. Winged monster with pale cheeks. Existential challenges. The Sphinx, a mythical creature, is depicted differently in various cultures. In Greek tradition, it has the head of a woman, the body of a lion, and the wings of a bird, appearing as a treacherous being who challenges individuals with riddles. This version is famously portrayed in the myth of Oedipus. In contrast, Egyptian sphinxes, often depicted as a man without wings, symbolize strength and protection, particularly for pharaohs. Both Greek and Egyptian sphinxes are viewed as guardians, commonly found at the entrances of temples. Renaissance Europe saw a revival of interest in the Sphinx, influencing decorative art. The Great Sphinx of Giza, the largest and most renowned sphinx, is located on the Giza Plateau near the Great Pyramids of Giza, facing east. Welcome to the place where you'll find your perfect accommodation. If you're the owner of a hotel, motel, or a similar establishment, don't hesitate to reach out for a potential collaboration. While its exact construction date is uncertain, it is believed to depict the pharaoh Khafre, placing its origin between 2600 and 2500 BC. Some fringe theorists argue for an earlier construction date based on geological evidence, but this view is not widely accepted. The builders' names for these statues remain unknown. Egyptian pharaohs often had their heads carved atop guardian sphinxes, symbolizing their connection to the sun deity Sekhmet. Other famous sphinxes include one of Hatshepsut now in New York's Metropolitan Museum of Art, and the Alabaster Sphinx of Memphis. The Mannerist Sphinx featured a woman's coiffed head with young woman's breasts atop a recumbent lioness body. This style emerged from the rediscovery of Nero's Domus Aurea decorations in Rome, becoming popular in Europe during the 16th and 17th centuries. Raphael's workshop included sphinxes in Vatican Palace's loggia, influencing French art at the school of Fontainebleau in the 1520s and 1530s. The French Sphinx extended into the late Baroque period and spread throughout Europe, seen in palace gardens and neoclassical interiors by Robert Adam. In the 19th century, Romanticism and Symbolism movements continued to incorporate Sphinx motifs, often alluding to the Greek myth of Oedipus. The decadent movement of the 1890s embraced the Sphinx as a symbol of beauty in decline, often connecting it to the femme fatale figure. During the Bronze Age, the Hellenes engaged in trade and cultural exchanges with Egypt. Even before Alexander the Great's conquest of Egypt, the Greeks referred to these statues as sphinxes. In Greek mythology, there was a singular sphinx depicted as a destructive and unlucky demon. Apollodorus describes this sphinx with a woman's face, the body and tail of a lion, and wings of a bird. Pliny the Elder mentions sphinxes from Ethiopia with brown hair and breasts, a detail supported by 20th-century archaeologists. Statius portrays her as a winged monster with pale cheeks, corrupted eyes, bloodied plumes, and livid talons. The Sphinx, according to legend, guarded the entrance to the Greek city of Thebes, posing a riddle to travelers seeking passage. In one version, she asked, "Which creature has one voice and yet becomes four-footed and two-footed and three-footed?" Those who failed to answer were strangled and devoured. Oedipus famously solved the riddle, identifying man as the answer. Some versions include a second riddle involving two sisters, representing day and night. After being defeated, the Sphinx either threw herself from a high rock, was killed by Oedipus, or devoured herself. In adaptation of the legend, The Infernal Machine, the Sphinx discloses the answer to the riddle to Oedipus. She hopes this act will inspire Oedipus's affection, but he departs without expressing gratitude for her help. The scene concludes as the Sphinx and Anubis return to the heavens. Various interpretations of the riddle of the Sphinx and Oedipus's response exist, including mythic, anthropological, psychoanalytic, and parodic perspectives. Sigmund Freud likened the riddle to the question of childbirth origins. Additionally, numerous riddle books feature the Sphinx in their titles or illustrations. The concept of a creature, featuring the body of a lion and the head of a human, is prevalent in the traditions, mythology, and art of South and Southeast Asia. These figures resemble the classical Greco-Roman Sphinx but possess unique cultural interpretations and significance. Unlike the lost traditions of Egyptian, Mesopotamian, and Greek sphinxes, the Asian variations remain vibrant today. Depictions influenced by Hellenistic art can be traced back to the 1st century BC, particularly evident in South Indian temple sculptures. These sphinx-like creatures play essential roles in temple rituals and festivals, symbolizing protection and divine presence. In Sri Lanka and India, the figure known as Narasimha is associated with Buddhism and serves as a guardian of the northern direction. In Giorgio Amitrano's work Echoes of Ancient Greek Myths, in Murakami Haruki's novels, and in other works of contemporary Japanese literature, the author delves into the thematic connections between Haruki Murakami's Kafka on the Shore and the myth of Oedipus, particularly exploring elements of decadence and the protagonist's journey to self-discovery. Within the novel, the motif of the Sphinx is embodied by the enigmatic character of Oshima, who serves as a mysterious and all-powerful figure challenging the protagonist to confront the concept of a meaningless existence. Oshima prompts the protagonist to search for authenticity by breaking free from societal norms of wealth and status, testing their resilience and understanding of truth in the face of existential challenges. Throughout history, Masonic architecture and symbolism have incorporated the imagery of the Sphinx. In ancient Egyptian culture, sphinxes were positioned at temple entrances to safeguard their secrets, signaling to those who entered to keep their knowledge concealed from the uninitiated. Champollion noted that the Sphinx symbolized various gods over time. The strategic placement of sphinxes conveyed the notion that divine knowledge was hidden from the public, only revealed to initiates within sanctuaries. Within Freemasonry, the Sphinx serves as a symbol of mystery, often appearing sculpted in front of Masonic temples or engraved at the beginning of Masonic texts. The Gopatiosha, or Persian Gopat, resembles the Sphinx, featuring a human-faced winged bull or lion. This creature has been depicted in ancient Iranian art since the late 2nd millennium BC, often symbolizing royal power. It appeared prominently in Elamite, Luristan, North, and Northwest Iranian art during the Iron Age, as well as in Achaemenid art. References to Gopats can be found in texts like the Bundahishan, De Destiny Denig, Managai Krad, as well as in collections of tales. The Lowenmensch figurine, dating back 32,000 years to the Aurignacian period, is the oldest anthropomorphic statue discovered. Also known as the lion human, it was found in the Hohensteinstadel cave in Germany in 1939. In ancient Assyria, temples were guarded by bas-reliefs depicting Shidu bulls with crowned, bearded heads of kings at their entrances. Similar to the Sphinx, many Greek mythological creatures, such as centaurs, are remnants of earlier mythologies and share similarities with the archaic survivals of classical Olympian mythology.